Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you to everyday Bhagavad-gītā class. And today we are discussing the last verse of chapter number 9 that's called as the most confidential knowledge. So the chapter itself is the most confidential knowledge. And out of this chapter, this one is the conclusive essence. The conclusive essence of the most confidential knowledge of Vedas is here. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayana. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Can anybody count how many number of me's are there here? How many me?
6 me's.
Yeah. 1, 2,
5 me's and
4,
1
5.
my.
Yeah. 5 me's and 1 my. So the word, Sanskrit word, mat. Mat means me. Mam also means me. So man, mana, bhava. It's come from mat plus mana. Mat bhakto has become madbhakto. Mat yaji. Mam namaskuru. Mam e vaishyasi yuktvaivam. Atmanam mat parayana. So Krishna is making it crystal clear. The conclusive instruction of Bhagavad-gītā, conclusive instruction of Krishna to Arjuna is this. Engage your mind in always thinking of me. Why should we think of Krishna? That is the question number 1. Why should we think about Krishna? So, what is the opposite of not thinking of Krishna? If we don't think about Krishna, whom will we think about? Can anybody say?
So many other desires.
Yeah, so many other things. Generally, we'll think about any things. Mostly, we will think about things.
Maya.
Maya.
Yeah.
Just like we have heads and tails, we have Krishna and Maya. So either we think about Krishna or the opposite of Krishna is Maya. So what is the, in simple words, what is Krishna and what is Maya? We'll just try to understand. Okay. So whatever is like, Krishna is like supreme, permanent, and he is blissful, eternity, knowledge and bliss. Sat Chit Ananda. Okay, simple. Sat means eternity. Krishna is always there. He's always present. See, for example, a lot of people say this, right? That where is Krishna now? Krishna has left the planet. No. Where is Krishna now? Anybody can say where is Krishna?
Everywhere. In our hearts.
In our hearts. He's there everywhere. He's pervading everything and he's there in the heart of every living entity. Correct? So he's always there. So if we ask, that is Sat, that is eternity. Okay, Chit. And knowledge. Chit means knowledge. There are two things, Vidya, Avidya. Either we think about Jnana or Ajnana. So Jnana is to realize that this material world is full of suffering and it is temporary. Jnana means knowledge. Knowledge means, see, for example, let us say, just think of a villager, okay, who is illiterate and he doesn't know how to read and he is exploited by the landlord. Just imagine, I mean, you know, the movies we see, right? So there was one very innocent villager and he's getting cheated by the landlord. And then his child will be sent to school, right? And then this boy will come and just say, can I read the papers? And then he will say, you know what, this is cheating. Tata, he's cheating you. That's like that, you know, father, he's cheating you. Some cheating is going on here. You know, then knowledge has come into picture. Correct? Some cheating. So that's like realization has dawned upon him that time. That, oh, so many decades I've been cheated. So similarly, knowledge is like that. It's like literacy. So we are getting cheated. right? We are getting cheated by the Maya, by material world, to believe that everything is happy and everything is permanent. That is Sukhalayam Shashvatam. That is the cheating. But when we become literate, when we read Bhagavad-gītā, Krishna will inform us that this is Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam, that there is suffering at every stage of life, at every point of life. That's when we realize that we should not be attached to this suffering material world, and I should be attached to Krishna and go to his spiritual abode where there is no suffering. Sat Chit, that is, Chit means knowledge. Knowledge is to get the higher perspective. So we think from different perspectives. So for example, we think from a perspective of dharma, artha, kama. That is, we think from a perspective of morality or duty, or we think from the perspective of economic gains. So what decision will get me the maximum economic gain? Or we think about what will keep me very comfortable, what will keep me happy, which decision will keep me happy, what will make me happy, so that I am comfortable. I don't want to go out of my comfort zone. Dharma, artha, kama. Beyond this is the moksha, liberation platform. Knowledge is all about liberation platform. It is to understand that we have to go beyond this. Okay, there is something beyond these considerations. That is, everybody has to die. And after death, there is another life. And we may think, oh, it's such a big lifetime. But actually, no, time flies by very fast. I mean, just imagine 2024, we are already into August, right? So we are in August end, right? So it feels almost like 2024 recently started, right? When you reflect upon how old you are, you'll also feel that, when did I become so old? Is it not? So time flies by very fast, correct? So that's the thing. Sat Chit. Chit means knowledge. And Ananda. Ananda means bliss. Bliss means happiness. Now, somebody can say, I am happy without Krishna. Why do I need Krishna? Then the answer is, the kind of happiness that we are getting in this material world is not Ananda. It is Sukha. Difference is there. The difference is, see, there is one kind of happiness which is transformed sadness. So just like duality. Duality means like just like temperature. So sometimes we say it is hot, sometimes we say it is cold. So what is heat? It is a transformed cold. Or what is cold? It is transformed heat. So what is hot for you is actually cold for somebody else. Am I right? Or what is cold for you is hot for somebody who is coming from a very cold polar climate. Right? Even for animals who are living in the polar climate, for them, Bangalore is a very hot city. Right? But for those people who are staying here, it may be, it's a cool place. For those who are staying in some tropical cities, which is very hot in the summers, for Bangalore is a cool city. So it's relative, right? So it's a relative duality, happiness and sadness that we are getting. So for sometimes it's a fleeting happiness. Sometimes we feel happy for some time. And then again, we're feeling sad. Dualities are always there. This is not Ananda. This is not happiness. Happiness is that which comes from beyond our senses. Excuse me one minute. Hare Krishna. So, Satchit Ananda. Ananda means bliss. Ananda means bliss. To be very happy. That is, Krishna consciousness gives Ananda. Krishna gives Ananda. So the reason why we should engage our mind in always thinking about Krishna is because Krishna is Satchit Ananda. And by thinking about Krishna, we get his nature. We get bliss. We get Ananda. By discussing the pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna, we get Ananda. So by participating in Janmashtami, we feel the bliss, right? By hearing the pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna's birth, transcendental birth, we become very happy. Is it not? By chanting the names of Krishna, we become very happy. right? Just like how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to be always thinking about Krishna. He is Krishna himself. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam. He is Krishna himself, but he is always remembering Krishna. He is always hearing about Krishna. And in that, he is experiencing ecstatic symptoms. Ecstatic symptoms. Right? So that is Krishna consciousness. Manmana Bhava. Always engage your mind in thinking of me, of Krishna. Right? By thinking of Krishna, what happens is our mode of passion and mode of ignorance will come down. Okay? By meditating upon Krishna, by thinking about Krishna, our mode of passion and mode of ignorance will come down. Do you know what is the reason for our suffering? Can anybody tell me? Why do we suffer? What's the root cause for our suffering?
Desire.
Desire. Okay, what else? What else?
Attachment.
High expectation.
Attachment, high expectation,
We are deluded.
delusion. And then what? Can you tell it in terms of the three modes of material nature? Which mode of material nature causes us distress?
Ignorance.
Ignorance.
Mode of ignorance.
And
Passion.
That's
mode
greed.
of passion. Mode of passion results in suffering. Mode of ignorance results in madness. You see, there's a difference. Mode of goodness results in happiness. Happiness is not bliss. Happiness is just happiness. I'll tell you one simple example. Let us say that, there's a retired couple, who are just very happy with their life, and they're leading a very simple life. And then, they're happy about their children, and they're just doing some, nice exercises every day and staying calm and happy. So that's like mode of goodness, something like that. Mode of passion is like, in the rat race, running. I mean, like, even though my health is not good, I just stretch myself, stretch. I want to compete. I want to defeat. I want to prove the world. Something like that. So this is mode of passion. So mode of passion, when excessively used, it causes distress. Okay. So the reason why we are suffering is because of the mind. That's the first reason. Why are we suffering? Because of our mind. See, because if our mind says that this is good, we'll stop suffering. See, just like, let's say that there is some pain that's being given to us. Let's say you go to the dentist. Okay. And dentist is doing some painful procedure for you. But then you still tolerate. Why do you tolerate? Why do you tolerate? Because you know that something good is going to come out of it, right? You're going to be relieved out of a bigger pain. Am I right? You had this dental pain. They said that, the toothache is like one of the worst aches, right? Many of you would have experienced. It's like the worst aches. You cannot do anything with the toothache when it becomes very worst, right? So the dentist is helping you. So you get rid of it, you're happy. So let the procedure be done, and you're ready to tolerate that. Am I right? So that means your mind is now ready to accept suffering. But the same thing, think about the opposite. Let us say that it is a small thing. You did not actually lose anything much. But your mind is repeatedly crying, repeatedly saying that, why did you lose it? Why did you lose it? You're lamenting repeatedly. Does that happen? I'm sure none of you have experienced that, right? Is that true? None of you experienced this?
What, Prabhuji?
None of you experienced that our mind is simply giving us suffering about a small thing. I mean, it's not really very serious, but mind is telling something bad has happened, and it's making us to feel bad again and again and again. But
Yes.
actually, if you think about it, it's not much. It's nothing big.
Yes.
Prabhuji, I do go through that.
Yes. Prabhuji.
I
One
did
of
go
my
through.
friends, she just fell down and her hip fractured. So after seeing her, I don't know, the Dukha is not going. After all, she's operated and she's come back home. But after seeing her since 2 days, my heart is so heavy. I know after it'll take some time and she'll walk and come, but it's just going on.
That's right. That's right. So that means that this distress is actually coming from our mind. See, it's coming from our mind, and especially mind also, it's coming from the mode of passion. Mode of passion. Mode of passion is like desire and longing. So from that, attachment also. Because we like somebody or we like ourselves very much, or we are attached to somebody, we feel very bad for them. Right? So this attachment. So this is mode of passion. So if we're in mode of goodness, we'll not be feeling so bad for that. Because we'll be like, in a knowledge platform, just like how, like, for example, if a doctor is operating, he will know that, he will not be very much affected by the patient's pain or something, because he's used to seeing that and he knows that he'll be fine. For example, that's like that. So if you're in a knowledge platform, in the mode of goodness platform, you know that, okay, this is a temporary pain. I have to go through this, but after that, it will be fine. I'll be fine after this. So like that, mode of goodness is that. But mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance, this happiness is not the final happiness. This happiness and distress are simply a transformation of certain feeling. That's it. So sometimes we're feeling happy. When the gold price increases, we are feeling happy. Wow, very nice, very nice, very nice. I've invested. The gold price is going down, we feel unhappy. Or it can be the opposite also. When the gold price increases, we may feel unhappy that, I should have bought the gold last year. Why did I do this mistake? Anyways, I had to buy it, right? So it's just see how happiness and distress is just transformation of two feelings. That's it. It's not real bliss. But Sachidananda means, to be blissful, right? So mode of passion, when it is gone, when you think about Krishna, mode of passion is gone. Mode of ignorance is gone. That means that moha or the delusion or ignorance is gone. Once that ignorance is gone, you are in the knowledge platform. When you're able to realize that, understand that, then you become happy. Actually, we are naturally happy. All right. So our nature itself is to be very happy. But what has happened is there is so much of conditioning that has come upon us, which is stopping us to be happy. It's like multiple layers, right? If you peel the layers, just like there's an onion, if you peel the onion, you're peeling it. So there's something in between, right? So you're peeling the cover, there's something which is there within. So within us, the happiness is there completely. But unfortunately, what has happened is, because we have associated with the material nature for so long, and because we have not thought about Krishna for so long, we have actually contemplated on the sense objects for so long, we have lost that innate capability of being happy. So if we think about Krishna, we first of all become very happy, Sachidananda. And there are many more benefits also, but we will not be able to go through all of that right now. Benefits of remembering Krishna. Mat Bhakto. Mat Bhakto means become my devotee. Why is it so important instruction? Right? Why is it so important that we should become a devotee of Krishna? What is the benefit? Right? So, for example, the materialistic people may say that, why should I become a devotee? Why should I worship Krishna? Will I get money? What is the use of this? Why should I become a devotee? Will I get money is the first question that they ask. What is the benefit? What's the gain that I will get? That's a good question. That's a right question. It's not wrong to ask what's the gain. But we should be open-minded to hear and understand and assimilate the answer also. When you ask the question, you should also take the answer, right? So now let us see. I would like all of you to answer and tell me, what is the benefit of becoming devotee of Krishna? Why should we become the devotee of Krishna? What are the benefits that Krishna has promised in Bhagavad-gītā?
We want to go back to him, and there is no birth, and we don't come back to this material world again, which we have experienced and we don't want to come. So that is the only way. Or else we are back here and back the same suffering.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good. So yeah, very nice point. First of all, to go back to Godhead and to end this material miseries, there is no other option than to, become a devotee of Krishna. Okay, right. Thank you. Any more points? What is the promises that Krishna has given in Bhagavad-gītā for his devotees? Anybody can say?
whoever knows about my pastimes, my coming and going, they will not have birth. Just by knowing itself, we will not have. He is confirmed. So every 24 hours thinking of him, we can be guaranteed that we'll not come back and we will reach him. That's a guarantee he gives. Just think about me.
Yeah.
So you will
Knowing
come to
about
me.
Krishna, we will not be able to come back to the get back to this place. What else?
Hare Krishna.
Name
The
Bhakti
real
Pranashati.
miseries are birth, death, old age, and disease.
Okay, we will.
All the others are, they can be handled. But this is something which nobody else but Krishna can help us get out of this. So this is the only way to, come out of the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease.
Okay, the only way to come out of the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease is to become the devotee of Krishna. Okay, what else? What is the promises of
Name
Krishna?
Bhakti Pranashati.
Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Declare boldly that my devotee never perishes. Krishna has promised in Bhagavad-gītā that my devotee never perishes. Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Right? Any more points? Krishna said, Ananyas chintayanto mam, ye jana paryupasate, tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. He
He
said
retains
that,
what you have, he gives, then gives what you need.
yeah, he will preserve what we have and he will give us what we lack. Right? Yogakshemam vahamyaham. And then what did he say? What else?
Prabhuji, devotee is very dear to Krishna.
Yeah, very nice. Devotee is very dear to Krishna. Right? So, just simple fact, right? Simple thing. I'll tell you one simple story. Right? Okay, let us say somebody was trying to find out who is the greatest personality. Okay, and then he saw that the normal people were very much respectful towards the businessman, right? And the businessman was going to a politician for some grants, and he was very respectful towards a politician. And the politician was very respectful towards a sadhu. When sadhu came, he was paying obeisances and he was receiving him well. Then he understood, oh, it's not the politician, it's the sadhu who is the greatest personality. And ultimately, the sadhu was worshipping the God. So then finally the conclusion was, oh, so God is the supreme person because everybody is worshipping him. Finally, everybody bows in front of him. Right? So similarly, when we're thinking about Krishna, right? So the benefit of becoming a devotee is that, so when you become close to somebody so powerful, naturally you are also very powerful, obviously, is it not? So let us say that your close relative is the chief minister of the state, then you're naturally very powerful. If you know that your father is the richest person in the universe, then you'll no longer be worried. You'll become completely free from all anxiety, right? So there's also one story, right? So for example, there was I'll tell you a story. There was a flight and a little girl was reading a novel, children's book. And then there was a lot of turbulence. And everybody were very scared. They were doing all kinds of prayers. And they were very worried. But this little girl was completely absorbed in her book. And then turbulence stopped. And the person sitting next to that little girl asked, we were all very scared when the turbulence came. Why were you not scared? And the little girl said, do you know what? The person who is sitting in the cockpit, who's the pilot, he is my father. And I know that my father will make sure that nothing will happen to me. So that's why I'm not scared. Right? So if we get the simple realization that, my father is a supreme father, is the supreme father of all the living entities, he is even maintaining all the animals also, right? He's Bhuta Bhrut. He's giving food for everybody. Why won't he give food for me? Right? I don't need to ask him for food every day. Oh, my dear God, please give me daily bread. No need to ask him. Because why will he not support that? Why will he not take care of devotees who are always thinking about him? He's ready to take care of everybody in the planet, all the living, non-living, atheist, everybody, right? Without any condition. then obviously why not? He's Bhakta Vatsala Govinda. He loves his devotees, right? We all know that one of the qualities of Krishna itself is that he is Bhakta Vatsala. And he says, Tesham satatu yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. So Krishna is saying that for those who are constantly devoted and serving me with love, I give them the understanding by which they can come to me. And so this is another benefit of becoming a devotee. Tesham evanu kampartam aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atmabhavasto jnanadipena bhasvata. And he's telling to these devotees who are constantly remembering me, who are always hearing about me, conversing about me, and enjoying this conversation, talking about me, to show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So Krishna, who is the super soul present within, he's present in everybody's living in, everybody's heart. It's not that he's present only in the heart of devotees. He's present in the heart of every living entity, but he's present as Upadrushta Anumanta, as a witness. Just he is observing, that's all. But for those who are devotees, he's reciprocating. He's actively reciprocating. He's giving instructions, what to do, what not to do. So he's saying that I will destroy the ignorance in the heart. So he will be personally reciprocating within the heart and giving us knowledge from within and destroying the ignorance. I mean, what else do we want than this, right? When the ignorance is personally destroyed by Krishna himself. Therefore, we should become Bhakta, devotee of Krishna, Mat Bhakta. And the next point is Mat Yaji. So it means that worship me. So what is the benefit of worshipping Lord Shri Krishna? We will see that. That's a very interesting topic. So what happens when we worship Krishna? Can anybody tell me? What happens when you worship Krishna?
We become dear to Krishna.
We become dear to Krishna. What else? Thank
We
you.
become fearless.
Become fearless. Yes.
Krishna Prema will get Krishna Prema.
We are at peace.
We are at peace. What else?
Krishna reciprocates.
We become compassionate towards others.
We become compassionate towards others. Yeah.
Krishna becomes Bharta, Bhokta, and Maheshwara.
Okay. Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwara. Okay, fine. So DT worship. I'm asking particularly DT worship, what is the benefit? So you all understand, right? In the temples of Krishna, Lord Krishna's temple, Lord Jagannath temple. Let us take Jagannath temple. So they are doing Aarti in Jagannath temple, yes? Also in our Sheshadripuram temple also, they're doing Aarti. So how many times Aarti is performed every single day in the temple? Anybody knows?
3 times, Prabhuji.
Okay, any more guesses?
Yes,
5 times.
Prabhuji, six times.
6 times. 6 times where the Aarti is performed. This is as per the Pancharatrika Vidhi. It's given in the Shastras, in the Agama Shastras, how to worship Krishna, how many times to worship Krishna. Everything has been given. So again, so there is worship in the temple, deity worship in the temple, and there is worship at home also. So you can worship at home or you can worship in the temple. So in the temple, the processes are elaborate. It is 6 times deity worship. At home, it may not be 6 times. It will be a different standard. Home standards will be like 1 time. Or some devotees do it even 2 times, morning and evening. Manglarti and Sandhyarti, 2 times they do it. Right? And so I'll tell you why we are worshipping Krishna. So when we are worshipping Krishna, we worship Krishna in different kinds of forms. So either in the deity of the stone, or a deity made up of wood, deity made up of metal, or deity made up of sand or clay, or we mentally worship Krishna within our mind. Right? Can you tell me an example of a deity made up of wood?
Jagannath.
Jagannath. Lord Jagannath is made up of wood, Daru Brahma. Any deity made up of stone?
Ram Lalla.
Lalla.
Okay, Ram Lalla or Pandarpur, Vithala, right? Panduranga.
What about Venkateshwar Swami?
Venkateshwara Swami also.
Balaji.
Yes. Tirupati Balaji. Yes, very nice. So like that, we worship Krishna. So this is a very authentic process. Deity worship of Krishna is not a superstition or andha bhakti, they say, right? Superstition, blind worship, illogical. No, it is very much logical, very much scientific also. The thing is, we may not be able to measure this from science. So the benefits are given in the Shastras. So we do it out of faith, Shraddha. Shraddhavan labate jnanam. We do it out of the instructions of Krishna. Krishna has instructed that I must worship him, therefore I shall worship him. Because Krishna is not present in front of us, we will not be able to see Krishna. If somebody wants to see Krishna, he is Vishwarupa. He is pervading, all pervading. Where will you go and worship what? And how will you give him service? So Krishna has agreed, who is all pervasive Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has shown the Vishwarupa universal form, has agreed to become a small form in the deity in the form of a metal or a stone in front of us, ready to take your service. So he is ready to take your service. That now you can offer. Now you can offer even a leaf, patram, pushpam. You can offer a flower, or you can offer a fruit, or you can offer a little bit of water also. Krishna is ready to accept. Krishna is ready to accept even Chappan Bhog. Right? For Janmashtami, we had Chappan Bhog. And how many of you went Janmashtami and you saw that people had put so many different items, right? Chappan Bhog, right? They put it, right? Hundreds and hundreds of items, food offerings. And Krishna is ready to accept it. So in deity worship also, we show various items to Krishna. What are the items that we show to Krishna in deity worship? Anybody can say? What are the important ones?
Aarti.
Aarti, okay. Aarti, what do you show in Aarti?
Lamps, agarbatti, and
ghee lamp,
agarbatti, lamps,
agarbatti,
then we show
camphor,
Shankha water, then we show
Shankha
flowers,
water,
Handkerchief,
flowers,
chamara.
chamara,
Chamara.
peacock fan. Right? So the benefits of doing all of this is, I'll tell you what are the benefits. The benefits are being given in the Shastras. Why do you offer flowers to Krishna? What happens when you offer to flower to Krishna and then you take that flower? You see, it's given that when the devotees smell the flowers or the incense offered to Krishna, agarbatti, let us say you offer to Krishna, or you offered flowers to Krishna and you take that smell, you know what happens? You become cured of the poisonous effects of material contamination. You see, I told you that the reason why we are suffering is because of material contamination. We are originally very blissful beings. Naturally, we are very happy. Internally, full happiness is there. But it has got covered by material contamination, just like some kind of dust accumulated on a mirror. You clean that dust with Colin and it becomes very clean. And then similarly, you remove this contamination, you become very happy. To remove this contamination, you have to, smell the flowers or smell the incense, agarbatti offered. How many of you felt a lot of time when you came to the temple of Krishna that this smell is divine? I'm feeling like out of the world. This is not ordinary perfume, right? So it's extraordinary. So it's just like a snake bite. If somebody is bitten by a snake bite, earlier days, they used to give some medicinal herb and they will ask them to take the smell of it. Simply by taking the smell of that medicinal herb, the poisonous effect will go. Similarly, our material contamination, we are affected and our poisonous thing will be gone. Poisonous contamination will go. So similarly, there are many more benefits like, if you're showing Aarti, ghee lamp, right? So in temple, they show ghee lamp, right? They're showing. So Jai Jagadish Hare, they're singing, or in the temples, or they're singing our Aarti. Samsara Dhamana Lalita Loka Panchadeepa. They're showing. When you're showing that Aarti, at that time, if you see the deity's face, what happens, If someone sees the face of the Lord while Aarti is going on, he can be relieved of all sinful reactions coming from many, many thousands and millions of years in the past. He is even excused from the killing of a Brahmana or similar prohibited activities, says Skanda Purana. So simply by seeing the Lord when that Aarti is going on, when the lamp is shown in front of Krishna, you're seeing that, you're getting relieved of past sinful activities. So that's why this is extremely powerful technique. Worship of Krishna or Vishnu is considered to be the topmost worship. It has been confirmed by Lord Shiva himself. He said, Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnur Aradhanam param. That means among all kinds of worship, you can worship anybody. So India is a place of worship, right? And there are many gods here, starting from village deities also. Just like in the Lanka, there was a deity called Lankini. Or every village, there is a deity. Even if you go to Bangalore or any place also, you'll still find village deities. In Chennai or Bangalore or Hyderabad, there'll be village deities. You can worship village deities also. You can worship anybody. You're free to worship anybody. You can worship anybody. Some people even worship ghosts also. But we want to worship the topmost worship. We want the topmost benefit. What is the topmost? We can worship the ghosts. We can worship the ancestors. We can worship the demigods. But what is the topmost worship? That is decided by Lord Shiva. Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnur Aradhanam param. The topmost worship is the worship of Vishnu. So why we should worship Krishna? Madhyaji. Krishna is saying Madhyaji. So to get rid of all the sinful activities that we have done in the past, most effectively, what is the most effective process? Because our files are too many, right? Just like there is a very serious offender. His file is very big, right? It's a very big file. Our file is not a small file. Don't think, okay, we are good people in this lifetime, maybe. But we don't know what we did in the past lives. We should always think that I've been the most sinful person. Otherwise, why am I suffering today? Simple question. Why if I'm not a sinful person, I would have been in Godhead right now. I would be in Vaikuntha. Why am I here? Why am I suffering? Why am I lamenting every single day? So that means there is sinful reaction. So Krishna's answer for that is, solution is Madhyaji. Madhyaji. And then, Mam Namaskuru. Offer obeisances unto me. Offer obeisances unto me. Now, what is the benefit of offering obeisances to Krishna? It is given in the Naradiya Purana that even if you perform great ritualistic sacrifice, or it is not even equal to paying one obeisances to Krishna. If you pay one time, if you fall down, it is better than performing many fire sacrifices that you can imagine. 10,000 Ashwamedha Yajnas also is not equivalent of paying one obeisances to Krishna. Namaskara. We do Surya Namaskara. Like that, Krishna Namaskara is the topmost. You see, Raghunath Das Goswami, he used to do obeisances. How many times a day do you know? How many times? Any guesses? 5, 10, 20, 30?
20 times.
Sorry? Come again? Any guess? How many times did Raghunath Das Goswami pay obeisances? 1,000 times per day. How many times are you paying obeisances? How many times am I doing? Maybe 2, 3 times.
Prabhuji, then he must have not got up from that position only.
Not really 1,000 times. I don't know what he was doing. So there's no need of any other exercise. Just pay obeisances and get up. So he has a fixed count every day that he will pay obeisances so many times to Krishna. And then he will pay obeisances all to all the devotees also next. So these were Goswamis. But we can't imitate them. Even in Vrindavan, if you go now, I don't know how many of you went to the parikrama of the Govardhanagiri. You'll see that people, they don't do parikrama. They do pay obeisances at every step. And they go to the next step and they pay obeisances again. So this is Mam Namaskuru. Simply by paying obeisances to Krishna, we become relieved of all the sinful activities. And this, like this, Mam e vaishyasi yuktvaiva matmana matparayana. Matparayana. Matparayana means become completely dedicated to Krishna. Become completely absorbed in Krishna. Then surely you will come to me. Surely you will come to me. See, the point is very simple. Very simple point. The point is, Krishna is a very good person. He's a person and he is the best person, Purushottama, and he wants that everybody be happy. Just like a very charitable person, a very noble person in a society, he wants that everybody to be happy. So that noble person, what he will do, whatever he thinks is the best, he will give it to them. So what is the best that, a noble person may think, okay, I have so many billions of dollars. Okay, let me donate some money and maybe we will produce some vaccine, or maybe we will distribute some food packets for flood relief, or maybe we will distribute some clothes, blankets for the poor people. Like that, he's thinking about the poor people, but nobody thinks about the rich. So the question is, Krishna is not making any differentiation. Oh, this is the rich, this is poor. So the rich are also poor. Prabhupada says rich is also poor. Why only Narayana, Daridra Narayana? Why not anybody else? The rich is also suffering. Aren't they suffering? Are they not having any problems? So Krishna doesn't make any kind of differentiation like that. So Krishna wants everybody to be happy. Everybody to be happy. And Krishna is the all-knowledgeable, omnipotent, omniscient, supreme personality of Godhead. He knows that what is the best for the living entity. What is the greatest gain that a human being can have? The greatest gain that human being can have is given in Srimad Bhagavatam when asked by Uddhava to Krishna. The greatest gain that a human being can have is to get devotion to Lord Sri Krishna. Because it is giving us relief from all kinds of suffering. So just like this nobleman is trying to relieve suffering, some part of it. Right? There are many sufferings. He's targeting one. The suffering which is related to the stomach, suffering which is related to the bodily comfort. But how many of you agree that there is suffering beyond stomach, beyond body? Here, there is so much of suffering. We have mental suffering, mental agony, right? And there's so much of suffering that's going on. Everybody is actually going through this. Everybody needs Krishna. That's why Krishna is very compassionate. Krishna is saying, Krishna is very compassionate. Krishna wants to see that everybody be happy. Not that Prabhupada used to say, right? It's not that I want to be happy and you are not happy. I want to see all of you happy. Like that, Krishna is the supreme personality of God. He wants to see all of us very happy. So the only way for happiness is Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness means happiness. So this is the conclusion of the 9th chapter, the most confidential knowledge. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvaivam atmana matparayana. If we do Krishna consciousness, if we become a devotee of Krishna, serious devotee of Krishna, and remember Krishna all the time, always hear about him, always talk about him, then we have innumerable, infinite benefits. It can give us relief from all kinds of suffering. You see? Just like we see Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, right? So he's also called, there's a book called Black Lotus. So he was a sannyasi, a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, who preached in the Africa, very wonderful. During his last days, he was suffering from cancer or some very serious illness, and his both legs were amputated. And once Radhanath Swami Maharaj had come to visit him, and he was reading from the Krishna book. And after reading from the Krishna book, he started crying. Okay, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. And he started saying that there is nothing better than this. There's tears of joy. You see, in that condition, nobody can actually be happy. It's a very painful bodily condition. But here he's saying it's so blissful. I'm so happy now. I've never experienced this kind of happiness in my life. Right? So this is Krishna consciousness. It doesn't matter whatever bodily condition we are in, whatever artificial temporary things that we can do, they will not work. But Krishna consciousness will work because it is at the platform of the soul. Okay? Thank you, devotees. We'll stop here. Hare Krishna. Any questions or any comments?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for
Hare
joining.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.